Hello and welcome to well, Wilderspace Gaming, and we're going to play a Delta Green game. I've only got a couple of players available tonight, so we're going to play a Delta Green game. It's a scenario called Deep in the Bayou, which just to scare the crap out of my players, because I haven't told them that yet.
Yep.
It's
He hasn't
actually
told us anything.
I haven't told you nothing whatsoever.
Absolutely nothing.
It's written by a guy called Karl Lloyd, and I think it was the winner of the 2020 Delta Green Shotgun Scenario Competition. But I will credit him in the video properly in the credits. Um, right, so it is now August 2018, so your characters are probably a little bit, I think probably a year older than they were before.
Oh, that's nice and easy to calculate.
Yep. And you get a message from your handler, who is Agent Oculus, who is this lady. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And she sends you, gives you a message to some instructions. You are to make haste, overnight flight to Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport to meet at 10 a.m. The next morning. Um, uh, just outside the airport is a storage park with lots of sort of big storage lockers called Hank's Storage Park. And you are to meet outside locker R23, and she gives you the code to open it. Is a keypad lock, and it's got a code which is 024222420 to open it. And she says to you,
What was the code?
Yeah, sorry.
024222420. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not that much of a bastard. Your characters
I
are
don't know.
your characters
You said
are
it awful quick.
your characters are all more intelligent than the three of us. So they will they will be able to remember these things. And she tells you this locker, it is what is termed a green box, which I don't think either of your characters has come across before. They are essentially, there is a network of storage locations. They're not always like this. They could be buildings, they could be underground bunkers, but they're generally things where Delta Green can store things. Things could be useful bits of equipment that you might be able to take out and use. Yeah. They also might be things you have no idea what the hell to do with them, so you put them in a secure location, which is a green box, and then you tell Delta Green it's there. Okay. And sometimes things can be left there for quite a number of years. So there could be all kinds of things going on.
How big is the green the locker? Is it like a type locker, or is this like a big?
It's a walk-in locker.
It's a walk-in.
Okay. On the inside, she says, you will find an envelope. In that envelope are three photos of two children with a she pauses as she's briefing you. They are the photos. The children have a slightly obviously mutated look. One that we have encountered in the past, and it is not good. Um, it comes from interbreeding with something unnatural.
Okay.
Um, there will also be in that envelope um, a, a burner phone for each of you and a document file on someone who has gone missing. The person the lady has gone missing, she took the photos and she uploaded them to a colleague, a number of colleagues, and one of those shared them with us. One of them was a um, what's known as a Delta Green friendly, and she she has now gone missing. And I would like you to investigate, find out um, what has happened. Sorry, what has happened to the woman, um, and what her and what she knows of these two children and anything else that that further leads to. Okay, you will understand more once you read the document file. Okay,
Understood.
um, and you're each told that you will be accompanied by your a fellow team member, and you're told to meet at the locker. Further agents may be dispatched if they are become available from your team. Okay. Um, there are tickets waiting for you. Or sorry, tickets will be received. Uh, there's a courier on the way to you with tickets uh, for the flights in your um, normally used assumed identities. Okay.
Understood.
And you, is there anything you want to do, or do you just want to travel there straight away?
Um.
It is August.
Mm,
Um, uh, Louisiana, um, which is Baton Rouge is in Louisiana, is going to be very hot, very humid, lots of insects. Not a nice place to be.
and I do a little bit of uh history, brief history, or just on the area that we're going to.
Yeah, it's very much Cajun country. So lots of French speakers, lots of a Cajun patois as well, which can be quite difficult to understand at points. Um, uh, it's very much part of the Deep South, long histories of racial issues and so on. It's very hot and humid climate. There are minimal restrictions on people um, uh, buying and carrying firearms. It has associated um, uh, crime issues as a result. Um, it, you don't know exactly where you're going. Some parts of Louisiana are quite wealthy and quite nice. Um, uh, Baton Rouge, I think, is not a not a, is particularly is quite a nice place. Um, to its west is Lafayette, which is even nicer. There's some amazing natural parks around. Um,
So, so it's a place that you could feasibly go along as a tourist or somebody that was there
yes,
visiting just for, okay,
yeah,
just thinking of a
yeah.
cover why we need to be there, etc.
There's a lot of it's a lot of sort of bayou swamp, hence the name of the game, as the scenario. There's a lot of swamp activities, so quite often lots of people will rent swamp boats to travel around and so
I stock up on insect repellent
on.
Yeah.
and then I leave.
Yeah. Yeah, Moriarty's going to take whatever he thinks is appropriate in terms of antihistamines and those sort of things. Sorry, not being really up on American interstate travel. Guns on planes, they're still,
No, you cannot take a gun in your
yeah.
hand luggage. You can take a gun in your checked luggage.
Which, as I've got a handgun, I'm assuming it's a above board
Yep.
registered piece, in which case I will take my gun with me.
hmm
And I'll be wearing what he thinks is the right sort of gear for this country. He's a sort of fat balding bloke, so it's probably not best suited, but he'll be wearing what he thinks is appropriate. So he'll be wearing a brand new pair of hiking boots that are going to get ruined in the first 5 minutes and stuff like that.
Yep, sounds good.
Oh
Okay.
no.
You then both get your respective planes from, I think, well, Agent Salem. I think you're coming from Boston, isn't it?
Something like that. I know I'm round about um somewhere on the Massachusetts.
Yeah. And then,
Beverly, Massachusetts.
yeah, and Agent
So,
Moriarty. Do you remember where you were from?
San Diego.
Yeah. Okay. So you get flights in, and then at about 10 o'clock the following morning, um, well, uh, actually, do you two can meet at the airport if you wish and hire one car, or do you want to hire a car each?
hire one car.
One car.
Yeah.
You two
Yeah.
meet at the airport. So, just so we didn't do instructions at the start. So, do you want to just do a little bit of a description of who your character is and um, who you are inside, if you wish, as well? Can we start with?
You first, Ian.
Well, you go first, Ian. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Hi, I'm Ian. I'm playing Agent Moriarty, who's I've already said is I called him fat. It's probably fair to say he's stocky. He's not out. It's fairly well exercised. But he's sort of got a bit of LA spread going on. He's starting to bald, but he's got that trick of shaving the sides of his head to just make it look like, it's sort of natural that he's gone that way. His day job is working for the CDC, where he generally he pushes paper more than anything, but he obviously does a little bit of research and stuff. That's about it, really. It's obviously been involved with this sort of stuff for a couple of years.
B.
Hi, I'm B. I'm playing Agent Salem, a 62-year-old woman. She's of average height, a little bit on the slimmer side, bit wiry, um, grey to silver hair, that's sort of shoulder length, but always pulled into this bun at the back of her neck. She seems like kind of like an everyday sort of face in the crowd. But what possibly stands out as you're sort of talking with her and knowing her is that she seems just under the surface a little bit eccentric. She seems to collect things. Something I remembered from the last time we played. I had a lot of key rings for some reason. I think it was like every place I went to, I got a key ring to state that I'd been there. Um, she's a professor of history and archaeology, and yeah, she's got that undercurrent of being just a little bit kooky, but also quite knowledgeable in her field of study.
Sorry, can you hear my dog barking in the background?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, bear with me a sec. Oh no,
No worries.
sorry, apologies for this.
Looks like that.
Right, no, she's calmed down. Right.
Or should we just stop barking?
Yes,
Yeah.
she's convinced.
Oh my god, it's the noise in the bayou.
No, it's my yeah. My wife's out and she's waiting for. She's desperate for her to come back because the dog likes me, but she loves my wife.
Tolerates you.
I'm not
Loves
jealous
your
at all. Right. Okay. And so you meet up at 10 o'clock the following morning. Oh, sorry, just before 10 when your flights get in, and then drive to Hank's Storage Park. And this is quite, as you find locker R23, it's quite sizable, really quite big. And what are your alertness skills? Just to remind you with this system, if the skill is just good enough, quite often you just get given an automatic success rather than any dice rolls.
44.
40.
40. Right, that's both of you are wise enough to spot this. There are security cameras that are filming, and most of them seem to be on a rotating arm and moving around, filming people coming and going from the storage lockers. But you notice there's actually one that doesn't move, that's fixed, that's covering the front of this locker, okay, of R23. But also you notice that it's a different brand of manufacture to the others.
Is there any sort of signature code or markings that anyone in the know might think, oh, that's a Delta Green bit of kit?
Um,
Yeah, just a little logo or something that no one would know what it was unless you knew what it was.
yes, there is actually, and you spot that it looks like there's not, it's not quite graffiti, but there are lots of the lockers. They're not, even though they've got keypad locks. There are bits that are sort of not quite graffiti spray painted, but there's sort of dings and there's bits of marks on them. But you do notice that right down in the bottom right corner of the locker is a little green triangle, and you've seen that sometimes on Delta Green documents.
Does the camera have it?
Yeah, I was talking specifically about the camera, but hey,
Sorry, the locker.
Yeah.
No, the camera doesn't. No, it's on the
Ah.
locker. Well, sorry, you'd have to climb up and have a look at the camera.
yeah, it's a bit high. Okay.
It's sort of mounted on the opposite set of lockers.
Does it look like it's got I suppose how would I know that actually?
It's got a flashing green light on it.
Well, yes, I was thinking more like microphone capabilities where they could actually hear us. Most of them will just have some kind of. I think we want to inspect it without being too conspicuous, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Answering a question like that, unfortunately, is computer science.
Okay. How's your computer science,
Wait,
Agent Warrior?
I've got some.
Okay, cool. I have 0, so.
Okay, I'm assuming you're asking me the question. I don't know. I'll try and look as if I know what I'm talking about.
Right. This is fairly easy, so you can have plus 20 on the roll.
Nice.
What's your skill?
20.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at the camera from sort of not in the view of the camera, you can see it doesn't have any audio capabilities, but it does appear to have like a separate little aerial on it, like it's
Transmitting.
It's transmitting. It's not connected, therefore, to the same network as the other cameras.
do we think that this is friendly, or should we?
It also looks like it's been there for quite a while.
What I would say is, if this place is a special location, you'd think there'd be some level of security and monitoring of it. So if someone sticks a camera outside, it should flag something up before we get here.
I've never been to one of these locations before.
No, me neither. But I'm hoping that. Well,
Can I phone Agent Oculus?
Yep, certainly.
Or I might no, I'll phone her rather than text her. And yeah.
That was quick. Is there a problem?
Potentially. There seems to be an eye on the door. Is this
Someone's
part
drawn
of
an
the...
eye on the door.
She breathes out of her nose. There is a camera watching the front of this locker.
Bear with me a second, and you get put on hold.
Terrible 80s music.
Yeah, even though it's 2018. And then she comes back after about...
It's hold music.
Yeah, it's whole music, yeah. Comes back after about 2 minutes. That's part of the standard security. Don't worry about that.
Sorry to disturb you.
No, very, very observant.
Yep, seems fine. And now I feel embarrassed.
well,
And then we enter the code.
You made that call.
Yeah, next time it's you. 02422420.
The door opens, and it's a... I mean, it's just to get started. It's like a double doors that opens towards you. Okay, and you pull open one side, yeah, and you can see that about a foot inside, someone has suspended a curtain from the ceiling. So there's actually enough space to go in, shut it before you can see anything inside, if you wish. Or you can just peer around one corner of the curtain. It's also dark in there, by the way. And there, you also spot there is a light switch to one side.
Pull the door to, perhaps not shut it, but pull the door to, turn the light on, and peer behind the curtain.
Right. Just inside, as promised, there's a table, almost just on the other side of the curtain, and there is an envelope on there. Okay, as described. Glancing round, there are various. There's racking along the sides, and there are various things on the racking. Nondescript cardboard boxes, sort of big holdalls. There's a couple of gun cases. One of them, neither of you's got any military background, but one of them has the look of something definitely not civilian owned but military. And there's a whole load of stuff around. And then there's the envelope on the table. There's 4 fold-up chairs stacked against the table, so you can sit down and actually just have a meeting in here if you wish to.
Makes you think the other agents are a little bit more adept at carrying weapons.
Yeah, not sure they. Okay. I don't feel at all. I've got a gun, but I don't feel particularly comfortable around firearms. It's yeah.
Me neither, but needs must. Let's close this door and see what's in this file.
Okay, so starting with the file, the envelope, sorry. So it's got 3 photos of these 2 children. Now you now get to look at these photos. Now, first of all, they are they look to be actually printouts of something from a computer screen. Okay, so it does look like it's a printout of a digital photograph that's been captured somewhere. Okay, and the 2 children, boy and a girl, quite young, probably under 5. They are they look distinctly odd. They've got the color photos. They've got very pale complexion. They've got not very much hair. Their eyes are quite bulbous. Their ears are quite small. Their noses are quite small, and their mouths are look far wider than would be normal. And they look distinctly strange. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, bear a sec. I'll use someone else's character sheet. Can you please give me either of you got anthropology?
Yes.
What's your,
No.
no. Okay. What is Agent
Oh.
Salem's anthropology skill?
40.
40.
Oh, sorry, no, I found it. I've got 20. You're better than me, but I've got 20. So.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I would think so as a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I just don't think there's anything else would be appropriate. Right. Give me anthropology checks at +20.
Or both of us, or
Yep, both of you. Yep. Because you're both looking at the photos.
Oh, damn. Put a mark in that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Right.
you spilt your coffee over the photos.
Yeah, something like that. Damn. Doesn't
Right.
matter what score I got in that, does it? So I was never going to get it.
You think, right, Agent Salem, you think possibly that you've seen something like this before, but you can't place where it is. Okay. This sort of mutation, it's very odd. You feel like you've seen something before. Agent Moriarty, you to you, you've not seen anything like this before. It looks distinctly weird and unnatural, almost like there's a it's almost look there's almost a fishy look to them. It's sort of the bulbous eyes, the small nose, small ears, wide mouth. It's something. It's very pale skin, almost something must be a bit fish-like.
Uh-huh.
And I can see what they mean about unusual features. It kind of reminds me of something. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe there was a book I read.
Please, can you both give me sand checks?
I knew it. With a +20? Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ.
Right. Agent Moriarty, don't lose any SAN. Agent Salem, lose 1 point of SAN. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Oh, sorry. I'm going to shift you to. This is an area map. Okay. Oh, let me zoom out a bit. Right. So you landed in Baton Rouge here.
Yep.
So you're now around here, and you know that and Lafayette is the other main town in the area. Okay. Now, going through. So you've got these photos, 3 photos of these 2 children. There's a burner phone each, and then there's a document folder. Right. In the document file, it contains the curriculum vitae and human resources record of a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, which is FWS agent, and herpetologist called Dr. Deborah Carnegie, who from her date of birth is 29 years old. She's a distinguished alumni, that's the word, isn't it? Alumni of the University of Florida, and she's now based in somewhere called Bout-la-Rose, which is on the map. I shall ping it here.
Oh, yep.
Yep, seen that?
Oh, I had nothing up. Butler Rose.
Yep, Butler Rose. Yep, Butler Rose, technically, not Butler Rose.
Oh, thank you. I got mac and cheese. Sorry, just carry on.
That's all right. So she's now based in Bout-la-Rose, which is on the, I'm going to try and pronounce this, at Chaff Alia Basin. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it. The Americans will come for us.
I'm butchering that. Right. The word is just up. You see up to the north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That word. How the hell do you pronounce that? I'm sure it's probably Native American. It's probably Native American that's been bastardized into French. I imagine is my guess, but I am pronouncing it wrong. And she studies climate-related desalinations. She's studying climate-related desalination impact on local alligator breeding patterns. Okay.
Gosh.
Highly specialized bit of research. Yeah. She's been based in Bout-la-Rose for 9.5 months. And there's and that's sort of like the CV and human resources record. Okay. Also there's also a post-it note stuck to the inside of this folder, and there's 3 things written on it. The first line is Town Sheriff Jim Rose. The second
What's this
is
written on?
like a post-it note stuck on the inside of the folder of the file with her detail.
That seems to be written by her, or as just a note onto the file.
It looks like a note being attached to the file by someone who's passed you this information. Because the second line of it reads lab/home address 18 Manatee Lane, BLR.
What's that again?
18 Manatee or Manatee Lane, MANATEE Lane, BLR, which presumably is Bout-la-Rose. Yeah. And then the third line says phone 220-555-0414, 0144, a phone number when investigation complete. phone. There's a phone number to phone
Yeah.
when investigation complete. All written in the same handwriting, so it's probably not her because she wouldn't have written her own address down.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the sheriff's name? I got town sheriff and then
Jim Rose.
Jim Rose. Okay.
Were we made aware whether the authorities know she's gone missing?
Um, she hasn't been missing for very long. It appears someone has tried to contact her. It's hard to say for certain. She's certainly not yet listed as a missing person.
Okay.
But the implication of what Agent Oculus said is that someone has tried to contact her and couldn't. Hence, she's been sent to
Okay.
find her. Okay.
Right on.
Right. Do you want to go and dig around in the green box and look at other things here, or?
We've worked together, haven't we?
Yes.
Moriarty. Yep. So we know roughly what our specialities are. We've already said that neither of us are particularly fond of guns. However, I have some skill with guns. Not a great deal, but enough to keep us alive. I'm wondering if we should probably avail ourselves of some of these resources whilst we're here. Saves us having to pass any unnecessary checks further along down the line.
Yeah, I I do have a gun with me, but
Can I look around and see if there's anything sort of like concealable?
What, as in
Okay.
firearms?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't want an AK.
no,
Or
no.
something small like the cricket. It was a Men in Black reference.
Yeah, got it.
Right. There are. There's a small arsenal in here.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. There's a small briefcase containing a Glock 18 semi-automatic. Fully automatic pistol. So this is a pistol that's been. I can't remember if it's designed to do it or it's been converted to do it, to fire bursts. And it's got two sort of extended capacity magazines, and no, is that right? Sorry, hang on a sec. Where's it gone? Yeah, two extended capacity magazines and two ordinary size magazines, all of which are loaded, and there's a silencer with it as well. There, possibly more to your taste.
What? Oh, okay, never mind.
There's a taser.
I've got a taser.
Yep. And then there's a small. It's actually a 6R P239 9mm pistol. It's designed to be small and concealable. It's got a cheap plastic ankle holster with it and a couple of spare mags. So
Don't know. The first one seemed real tempting, but I think maybe the more concealable one, just for
certainly.
should anything happen. I'll take the small conceal. I don't know anything about guns, but I have a 40 in firearms, so I'm assuming my character would at least know
Yep. So
roughly.
you're taking the Glock 18, yeah?
Okay, Glock 18.
Yep. Just write that down,
Oh.
and then I've got the notes here for the details.
Sorry, I thought you were taking the concealable one, which is the 6R, wasn't it?
Is it you
Okay.
taking the concealable one?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
rather
sorry.
than the
Sorry,
bit
I
chunky
said the wrong
one.
thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Write down. Just write down P239. I'll know what that is.
P239. Okay, cool.
Yep. Okay.
I got it. I'm gonna put their gun for my purposes.
Yep. Each magazine holds 8 bullets. That's the key thing, and you've got 3 magazines, including the one in the gun. Okay.
3. So I've got 4 magazines total.
No, 3 magazines total. include
3 megs.
1 plus 2.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
including, gotcha. Yeah.
So just quickly out of character, on my character sheet it just says medium pistol, 3 clips of ammo.
Yeah.
So I need that do will it?
Yeah. I mean, the Glock would be a step up from that. It's the same size as that pistol, but it's got bigger capacity ammo and it can fire bursts, which yours can't. But up to you. And it's got a silencer on it as well. It's maybe something to know you've got here if you want to come back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the looking round. There's a rifle case with a semi-automatic sort of. It looks like a military rifle, but it's actually it's classed as a civilian hunting rifle, even though it has sort of military-sized magazines you can plug into it.
Jeez.
There's also a pump-action shotgun. There's also something that looks really quite old, and it actually looks like those Winchester lever-action rifles they used to have in the cowboy films. Yeah.
Just swing it around your fingers.
Yeah. That military case. Neither of you knows enough to know what it is, but it looks like some big rocket launcher or something like that.
Oh my god.
But it doesn't appear to have any ammo. But then there's other things besides weapons. There's are you having a little dig around some of the cardboard boxes?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Curiosity killed this cat.
There's a Ziploc bag containing 2 small 2-inch long, half-inch diameter plastic capsules and a small tube of KY jelly. An inch-long piece of wax thread with a small plastic bead on its end is fastened to one end of the capsule.
Jesus Christ.
And it's possible to unscrew an empty capsule and store small items inside it while hiding the capsule somewhere personal.
Wow.
Nope.
There is a hardback book called The Message of the Sphinx, A Quest for the Legacy of the Hidden Legacy of Mankind by someone called Graham Hancock and Robert Balvell. Crown Publishers, 1996.
Take all of my willpower not to take it.
There is also
It's unnecessary.
there's a DVD of a film called Reefer Madness. There's a VHS copy of a film called A Night at the Opera starring the Marx Brothers. Both of you heard sort of old time. You have once heard an old timer Delta Green agent who you met at one point as part of a mission referred to Delta Green missions as Nights at the Opera. So maybe there's some connection there.
Oh.
There's a 750 milliliter bottle of Hakushu 12-year-old Japanese single malt whiskey. There's a paperback book called Aztec Thought and Culture, a study on the ancient Nahuntal mind. There's a copy of a 1967 paperback reprint of a book called Phalange, A History of Spanish Fascism by Sidney G. Payne.
I thought you said phalange.
It's Phalange
With an F. PH.
I think
Sorry.
this is FALANGE, which I think is from memory is some sort of right-wing group in the Spanish Civil War. I think from memory.
Not finger bones then.
No.
Not phalange.
No. There's a paperback, the novelization of Halloween 3: Season of the Witch by someone called Jack Martin, but What are your occult skills?
40.
You know that that's a pseudonym, and it's actually a horror author called Dennis Etchison who wrote that book under a pseudonym.
I go, ooh, interesting.
There's a blank envelope with a short handwritten letter addressed to someone referred to only as Sis. It says, Adam's dead, but the old gods are generous. Long live Adam, Sis. Have a good life and don't bother looking for me. I don't want to be found. Adam.
Well, that put a dampener in everything.
There's a big sort of one of these really big sort of plastic boxes with the sort of lid that you clip boxes, and inside it are loads of cleaning supplies, goggles, dust masks, 4 sets of coveralls with name tags on them reading Dale, Buck, Earl, and Lashwanda, and a large beer cooler inside it that appears to be vacuum sealed. Do you wish to open it?
No, not ever.
I
think if anything's sealed, we never open it in this room. It's sealed for a reason.
and I think that's it.
Fair enough. The hire vehicle wasn't a pickup truck with a gun rack on the back, was it? We're in that sort of country, aren't we?
It can be if you wish.
Damn.
The shotgun and the rifle is a thing called a Ruger rifle, and both of those in this state would not be unusual to be
Wow.
to have something like that on the gun rack behind you.
I think on that basis we will take. Well, I'm assuming it's a lockable gun rack. We can just sort of secure things on it.
So you bring what are you going to bring?
The shotgun and the hunting rifle.
Okay, yeah. It technically is a hunting rifle. It looks like a sort of military. Right. Do you remember the A-Team?
Yeah.
Do you remember they always used to get sort of military-looking rifles? You know, okay.
Not.
Yeah, it looks like a military rifle, but actually it's restricted to semi-automatic, so it's technically not a military rifle, but it looks like one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it's totally legal in this state. Okay.
What are the search and check procedures like roughly? Like, is there any paperwork here that we need to take with us so that if we do get stopped and asked where our firearms are legal or not? I'm not sure how it works, but I'm thinking ahead just in case we encounter any trouble, and then we go, no, these are perfectly. We have the documents for them, or something like that. I don't even know if we have to have our names on it.
Right. I have looked up gun laws in Louisiana.
Oh.
No permit.
Very short entry.
No permit required for purchase or registration. There's no laws on assault weapons. There's no laws on magazine capacity. There's no owner license.
Fuck that hidden bullshit. I'm taking the Glock.
Genuinely,
I'll take both.
You do require a permit to have a concealed handgun.
That's the one I needed.
You do not require a permit to openly have a handgun on you that people can see. You can't take firearms into. There's a whole list of buildings you can't take firearms into. I think anywhere medical, anywhere government. I'll find the list, but yeah. So yeah. You can take the Glock in its case as well. The Glock, by the way, things like silencer, that starts to get a bit dodgy.
Yeah. I imagine that. I say to Moriarty, I say, actually, did you want the Glock? Would that be better than the one you're currently carrying, or
Yeah, it's a bit of a step up.
you take the Glock then?
For what I can tell.
Okay, you can take
I'll
the Glock
keep
then.
this.
Okay.
Also,
Um,
it's not
just take-
licensed. It's not registered to you, whereas the pistol you're carrying is.
Yeah.
Just so you know as well, B,
mm,
that taser, that is registered to you, and when you fire a taser, there are
Yeah.
there's actually almost like confetti that comes out that's got the serial number of the taser on it, so they can which can then go back to the register and be traced back to you.
Yeah,
So do you want to take the other taser that's in here as well?
Yeah, just as in case we don't want anything to be traced back, sort of thing. I'll take the other taser.
Okay, so both of you've got replacement weapons. So your the weapons you brought with you, you can stick somewhere. Yep. Okay.
We're just borrowing these.
Mhm.
As she loads up the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple of
Wait,
spare
we've got to have
holdall.
some time so I can read those books when we come back after the job.
Okay. Right. What do you want to do?
Think we start
Well,
with her property.
yeah, I think so. It's the lab home address. I mean, the town sheriff isn't going to know anything about it yet anyway, is he? So it's not like we could go and what capacity would we be going to him as anyway?
That's why I think maybe checking her home first, but
Yeah.
there's a reason why the sheriff's name is on here. It could be that he's close to her in another way, or he perhaps he is aware and hasn't made it official.
Yep.
So maybe we go to Deborah's home first.
Okay.
I'm assuming the hire car is something that we can drive, like not a taxi situation.
Yeah. You've had, from the sounds of it, a big pickup truck. Yep.
So that sort of went along with the whole that's what Moriarty thought you should have when you're in Louisiana.
Yeah. He
Not
was correct
necessarily what
there.
he's comfortable with. This is what I
Yeah.
need. Yeah.
Totally. You got to go big or go home.
Okay. So you drive to drive down to Budlarose here,
La Rose.
which there is a road leading there, but once you get off this big main road, you are onto definitely minor roads, and you did this whole area. All the green on here is essentially bayou, so it's swamp. It's might not be particularly deep, but it's one thing just to give you some idea as well. New Orleans is further to the east from memory, so you're down, and if you head far enough south, you will get to the coast. Okay, but with the coast with the Gulf of Mexico. Right, you drive off to Budlarose. It takes about just under an hour to get there, and Budlarose strikes you as fairly quickly as the sort of what you were expecting from it. It's a small town, might maybe have as much as 1,000 people, might do. And looking around, it is definitely heavy on the Cajun ancestry. As you drive in, driving a sort of nice, clean, brand new hire car, people are just turning and staring at you openly on the street.
You're not from round here.
Yeah, slightly different accent, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, Same vibe.
Yeah, exactly the same vibe. It exists in all countries. There's a there seems to be a motel which is just described as the lodge. There seems to be one diner which is called Peggy Sue's, with a little sign that says the best gumbo in the south. And then there's a sheriff's office. Sorry, but you're heading right. So you're heading to Deborah Carnegie's lab. So the address of that. When you go to the address that's on that piece of paper, it turns out to be an ultra-wide trailer parked on a vacant plot between much more decrepit shacks around it. She's in quite a poor area, and her trailer doesn't look in the best of conditions, but it's quite big. There's no vehicle parked outside, and it is closed. There are it's a school day, so and it's probably about 1 o'clock by now. Yeah, about say 1 o'clock, and you see a few people wandering around, but sort of people stare at you as you drive past. Are you actually going to park at hers, or what do you want to do? Park at a trailer? There's a couple of people staring. There's about sort of 4 plots along from her trailer. There's on the other side of the road. There's an old guy sitting in a rocking chair on the sort of outside the front of his shack, smoking and watching you. But you're something different, so you definitely attract attention.
I think it's too late to try and avoid that attention now, anyway. So,
and you've had to drive through the middle of town to get here, just to be clear.
Yeah. So I think we just drive up to the.
Yeah.
Drive
Let's
up.
Go up to the door.
Get out. Go knock the door like we don't know any different.
Can I I'll let Moriarty go and knock at the door. I want to just check, look quickly, not super obnoxiously look in the trailer, but just sort of sweep my eyes over it, see if there's anything I notice, and then look back at this gentleman that's on his porch.
Okay. What kind of things you just looking for something strange about the trailer?
Yeah, I just want to. Basically, I'm kind of doing either an alertness or search type thing, which is just for outside dangers, anything immediate, and anything that can give me a clue as to how long the trailer has been used, moved, etc.
Right. What's
traffic,
your alertness
basically.
skill?
Alertness is 40.
Right. Okay.
Search is 60, but I don't know.
No, it's not a search, unfortunately. It's definitely alertness.
Alertness. Yeah.
Right. The trailer's been here for quite a while. It looks to be like it's reasonably well tended, but it is definitely old and used. It's not brand spanking new or anything like that. It's there's nothing really, nothing else looks odd about it. The curtains on one end of it are open, and you can see into a sort of a living area, where there's a little kitchenette and table and somewhere to sit and eat and stuff like that. And it looks it looks cluttered, but well organised at a glance. So someone whoever lives here they've got a lot of stuff, but it appears to be organised.
It's not
And
like a hoarded situation.
I mean, the stuff in this area, stuff on the table, is nothing. I mean, there's things that look like sort of really large belts with black plastic boxes attached to them. Uh, there's a laptop on there. The whole thing's wired up to the mains electric, I should say, by the way. There is, even though there's shacks, there is mains electric. Laptop, yeah, you can see, and there's various other bits and pieces of some notepads and things like that, and notebooks and stuff like that on the table and stuff. Clearly, that's where she works.
Gotcha.
Knocking on the. Oh, sorry. And then you're glancing at the
Yeah,
van.
I was just.
Yeah, I'll come
Yeah,
back.
I was just. It's
I'll-
if he's looking, but I'll. Yeah.
I'll come back to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Knocking on the door prompts. No, there's no response. Yeah, there's no response. There is the door has a glass panel in it, but there's a sort of a little blind pulled across it.
Okay. Is there any sort of signs that forced entry or any marks on the door that suggest someone's gemmed it or?
Not obviously, no.
Sorry, I'll back in a second.
Nice.
So the man, he just sits there puffing on a cigarette, watching you.
So he is watching us.
Yeah,
Openly,
it's sort of like he was watching the world go by, and you're more interesting than that.
Yeah.
From the
I
angle,
acknowledge him. I like just wave to him and smile.
How are you dressed again?
So I think my character, like, because of the weather, I wanted to go for a smart casual, but like appropriate to the weather. I'm trying to pull off a. I'm a professor. That's trying to dress casual, basically. So nothing like garish, like a fucking Hawaiian shirt or
Okay.
anything like that. But like looser, thinner fabric shirt or something like that. Maybe those 3/4 length khaki style trousers, that sort of thing.
What's your charisma stat?
10, so 50.
Okay, so he sort of looks at you and just a little bit too long for absolute politeness. He then sort of nods,
Yeah,
takes a cigarette, spits on the floor next to him, and then puts the cigarette back in his mouth.
yeah.
But he doesn't come to investigate. Just stays there.
Yeah, I don't like stare him down, but I don't turn away abashed or anything. But I do sort of like talk out the corner of my mouth to Moriarty, and I'm not like, any answer?
Just to say one thing, by the way, which I didn't describe. The entrance door to the trailer is out of view of this man.
Right. Okay. Good.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So you've had a bit of a walk round Agent Salem. So that's how you've sort of seen him a bit.
Fair enough. I'll come back round to where Moriarty is.
No. Well, she's not here. We knew that anyway, though, didn't we?
Well,
You only gonna see. We did the others, don't we?
well, let's see if friendly neighbour can help us out. I'm assuming that we're not. The trailer is the property. Is that where
Yes.
she
Yeah.
stays?
Yeah.
There isn't another house. Okay,
No.
because I had an idea that this was like a trailer in front of a house.
No.
She uses a trailer for a lab. The trailer is the property.
No, the
Okay.
trailer's property. Probably the property is actually just the plot of land, actually, and she's parked a
Gotcha.
trailer on it.
I understand. Actually, it doesn't sound like she would probably give any keys over. Is the door locked then? Have you tried the handle?
Of course, I've tried the handle, and I reach across and try the handle.
It is locked,
As I said, it was locked.
but
My apologies.
but we're not talking a high security lock.
Yeah.
How about you give a little bit of force on this, and I'll go and distract this this gentleman that's keeping an eye on what we're doing here with the conversation.
Okay, I'll go check to see if there's any tools in the hire vehicle of any description. Tire sort of changing type tools.
Yep, you can find something you can use to. This is a bit of a gemmy. Yep, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without trying to do too much damage, I'll try and force the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. So, Agent Sailor, you're going to talk to this old man.
Yeah, I'll go around to the other side and just make out like I'm sort of like looking over.
He's several plots down. So you're walking.
Oh, I thought he was next door.
No. He's four. I think so. He's four plots down on the other side of the road.
Okay. Oh, right. Apologies. I thought he was literally right next to us.
No.
So if he makes noise, then obviously he's not going to hear that if we.
It depends on how much noise he makes.
Banging on it. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't make sense then. What I was going to do. I want to see whether Moriarty can get in first before I go and talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, right. Moriarty. Please give me a strength check at plus 20 because you've got a gemmy. Now,
better than me, probably.
Probably not. You can say something before I roll this dice.
Right. Essentially, you're going to succeed. This is to see how much damage you do to the door.
Quite a bit.
You did it though. It succeeded.
No, it's succeeded. So you pop the lock.
Sorry, yeah.
You pop the lock. Relatively quietly. It certainly doesn't attract attention from the guy, and you think that if you push the door back, it'll certainly lock again. Pretty certain a police forensics person would be able to tell.
Yeah.
I'm
going to retcon this a little bit. Before I've done that, before I touch anything, I'm going to get a pair of medical gloves out of my pocket.
Okay. Are you passing a pair to? Are you going in, and are you passing a pair to?
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah.
Idea.
He does. So the old man does hear the ding of gloves being put on.
Come on, performance.
Right. So going in, the trailer is it's gone. Right. What the trailer is very much as the rest of it follows the pattern I described before. It's essentially a well-organized mess of working material, tracking technology, lab equipment, research data, and then general living. Yeah. So there is the laptop. There is the these the one thing that struck you strange is these sort of belts with little black plastic boxes on them. But what it suddenly dawns on you is that's something you might put on a crocodile, or sorry, an alligator to track
Of
it.
course, yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Um, uh,
We've seen the Discovery Channel. We've watched
yeah, yeah,
David Attenborough.
yep. The are you going to search the place? Are you cursory search, fully detailed search?
I think. Sorry, Kevin.
No. I think
Yeah,
you're on
I think
exactly
a
what I was going
fairly
to say.
detailed search, but I'm particularly looking for signs of struggle, disturbance, that sort of thing that might have. The fact that her laptop's here suggests to me she didn't plan to go or be away. So I'm thinking she either left in a rush or she was or she was snatched. So I'm looking for sort of that sort of
Okay.
evidence, but giving it a fair amount of detailed search.
Anything to add to that for Agent Salem?
I think that before we start searching, I think as Moriarty says that we should do a cursory glance first to see what the situation was before we've disturbed anything. But I also going to take out my phone and do quick video sweep
Mhm.
round, and then snapshot anything that looks particularly like it might hold some evidence that we won't know immediately.
Okay. What are your search skills?
60.
40.
Okay. No dice rolls required. Okay. There is the laptop that's plugged in and charging, and from the lights you can tell that it's fully charged. It's not actually needed to charge. It's clearly been here a while, or it's been it's not been plugged in recently to charge. Um, uh, there's a there doesn't appear to be, there's no signs of any violence in here. As I say, it's organized. It's organized, not organized chaos, but organized mess. So there's a few plates from a day or two of washing up in the sink that needs to be done for a single person. There are various other bits and pieces of general living around. She's not, in terms of clothing, you find she actually has a uniform as a US Fish and Wildlife Service agent. So she's got a uniform. Um, there is there's a clean uniform hanging up in the uh, in the closet. There's a dirty set trousers and top in the in the laundry basket, and then there's and that's it. Um, uh, you spot that what is missing is probably a good pair of boots, walking boots. Yeah, there's nothing like that here, so
She's
that
probably wearing them.
that would suggest possibly wearing them and possibly another uniform. Two uniforms seems not very much for this climate. Um, uh, right.
Is there anything with that, like a lanyard or documents or anything like that with either the wildlife thingy or the Florida University symbol on it? The purpose is for, um, and Salem will say this to Moriarty, that if we're going to go around asking about Deborah, perhaps we should make it seem like we're coming from the university and we're concerned about her lack of communication recently, seeing
That
as she's
sounds
doing quite a dangerous job.
Yeah, so it's like good cover.
Mm.
Okay.
What size clothing she got?
Roll me a luck check.
Steal a yeah. I'll just steal a uniform.
Yep.
Yep.
So you can
Cool.
take the clean uniform. It will fit you. Yes.
Cool. I take a uniform.
Okay. So that's got the insignia of the U.S. Fish and
Wildlife.
Wildlife Service on it.
Yeah.
You do not find a sort of lanyard with an ID. That is something you do not find.
Okay.
But you do find various bits of paperwork with official documents from the University of Florida. Okay, and there's also a notebook on the table next to the laptop. That as you start to flick through that, the first thing you come across is more photos of these two children,
Oh.
and she appears to be slightly old school even though she's only 29 in her approach to taking notes, because she's actually handwriting a degree of it. Yeah, and actually, so the pictures you find, there are a couple of loose ones, but there are some actually stuck into the notebook, and it's more formal than a journal. Yeah, it's not like some scrapbooking journal, but she's keeping a written record of things, a handwritten record. And looking at that, so she was there's notes in here about she was tracking a particular alligator she was trying to find. Yeah, that had a collar on it, and she was trying to follow the signal. And it led her to a place where she met these very strange locals, and she's met them several times. And they initially were very suspicious, but because she knew about alligators, that seemed to be something that they knew a lot about alligators. It became a subject to talk about. But she did note that they were very unusual, and these two children in particular, she met them at one point, took photos of them, and that seemed to change the atmosphere. And she then felt not welcome after that. But throughout her also looking at this, she was tracking this one crocodile, and she's got noted down the various GPS coordinates of where it had been and stuff like that. And she's got noted down, therefore, the GPS coordinates of where she met these locals living in the middle of the bayou, deep in the bayou.
So we have the GPS location of the locals.
Yep.
And I'm assuming probably her last location that she looked for this crocodile.
Yes. And and then there's notes about her then going off. This appears to be. This is not a. This has been a sort of a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And then she then found that crocodile, resolved that, and she's then gone, as far as you can see, to a different part of the swamp, nowhere near these locals, according to looking for a different crocodile to check on that.
Oh, Ian, you're muted.
Were you trying to say something, Ian? Sorry.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming these are alligators, not crocodiles. But
yeah.
Sorry, alligator. Yeah, I keep
How-
sorry.
I changed it from alligator to crocodile because I thought I was like, I must have misheard. Right, alligator.
Alligator. It's all alligators. Sorry, that's an Andy fuck up. Apologies.
well, that would be
Damn it,
strange if you got crocodiles in the bio. That's why she's there.
Yeah.
That's the weird part.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. We've got to take care of all those crocodiles.
Oh, one thing you notice, by the way, in the rubbish is take out boxes from the diner in town.
Peggy Sue's.
Peggy Sue's, yeah. So, as I said, there was various bits of washing up in the sink, for the trailer's sink, but it doesn't look like she cooks very much. It looks like she buys takeouts from the diner and brings it back here to eat, or has done at some point. There's a couple of meals worth.
She's young. We've all been there. I'm still there.
Well, more so than Ian and myself.
Says B.
Yeah.
Right. What do you wish to do?
There's the obvious answer that I don't think Moriarty's ready for just yet.
What is it?
Well, going to this GPS location where the locals are.
Yeah, I'm not particularly excited to go out. I didn't bring my wellies.
You noticed on your Google checking earlier on, there's a store in town that will sell you as tourists.
On Google earlier that there's a probably very overpriced store that will sell us anything we need. Probably waders.
Yeah, I can imagine the sort of laughs they're going to have with us. I wish to purchase a gramophone. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Maybe we should start off with the diner. Or potentially we could go out and ask the gentleman down the road, see when the last time he saw her, Deborah. I don't know if we're going to get an answer, but I imagine that maybe someone from Peggy Sue's, seeing as how many takeout containers are in here.
Well, since you've taken a liking to that uniform, I'm assuming you're going to go. You're going to assume, although a guy across the road to see you in your street clothes, isn't he? So
I'm not going to get dressed in anything now. I think maybe that, yeah.
But are we going to play that you're from the sort of fisheries and wildlife and I'm from the university?
So yeah, let me, Andy, is this they're separate things, or is this something?
No, they are separate. They're separate things.
Okay.
She studied at the University of Florida.
Gotcha.
It's quite conceivable, though, that she is still. I mean, it would be a persuade check, but it doesn't seem unreasonable to say that, as well as drawing on her resources from her employer, she's also working hand in hand with her old university. That seems. I mean, it would require persuade checks, but that seems plausible. Yes.
I'll go to you at lying.
Okay,
what's your persuade check?
So deception, listen. Hey.
No, it's
out of 100. Yeah,
if I had to, it's 40.
Better than me.
Yeah, they picked the right people for the job here, didn't they?
Whatever agents were available, unfortunately.
Just because they've been tracking an academic, they said some academics. What's that about?
Is there a library around? Not joking.
That's right.
Well, I'm sure between the two of us we can convince them, if not with our charms, then with our knowledge of. We'll just use big words and confuse them. Let's go and speak to this gentleman outside then.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put on the uniform now. I'll put that on later.
Okay. Okay, yep. So are you both wandering down to him?
Yeah,
Are you finished? Yeah.
yeah, I think it's fair to say we've seen everything you can see at the in the trailer, yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
So
Okay, you wander down to him, and he stares openly at you as you walk towards him,
Hi.
rocking on his rocking chair. Hi there, he says.
Do you know Deborah? Lives in the, and I point to the caravan.
Might do.
I'm a friend of hers from work. I came in to help her, but she gave me a spare key, but she doesn't seem to be home, and we haven't heard from her in a while. Have you seen her recently?
Give me a persuade check. What is your skill?
God, why am I doing this? 20.
Right.
20 and persuade.
But you've come up with a plausible background, so I'll give you a plus 20 to it.
Oh, nice. Thank you. You're a kind and merciful God. Let's go. It doesn't fucking matter.
Don't forget to tick that.
It's the key thing, wasn't it? Oh, yeah.
Um,
Wasn't a fumble, though.
no. He seems a bit off, but he says, not recently, no. I don't keep track of her movements.
I
It's not
wouldn't
my job.
expect you to. Of course not. We're just concerned.
yeah, I work for the university. She's been doing a bit of work, research along with her other work, and she hasn't turned in a piece of work. She's quite late, and that's not like her. We're just really just worried about her, really, because what she does for a living. Obviously, uh,
Okay.
any help you could give us, sort of
Right. Give me a persuade check at I'll give you plus 20 as well. To see if he warms to you at all. University, you say? Okay. Yeah. Her truck's not been there for at least 3 days.
okay. Sorry for my ignorance. What truck does she drive?
A Ford.
Actually, down to 50% of the trucks in the case.
Yeah. 80.
Well, it's not a GM, it's a Ford. Right, okay.
Be one of
Okay.
two.
Okay, well, thanks for your time. We'll head into town, see if
If you're worried
you can
about
hear.
it, go talk to the sheriff. He's generally got a fairly good idea of what's going on around here.
Okay.
Oh, Deborah mentioned him. There's a Jim. Gotcha.
That's him.
If you see her, could you let her know that some friends come looking?
Though he seems okay with
Yeah, he
Agent
doesn't like me.
Moriarty, he just still is not keen on Agent Moriarty. I ain't your secretary.
Okay, we're gonna go.
Yes.
Leave.
Anyway, sir, thank you for your time. Yeah, I'm just sorry. I can't think of a name to come on the cover. John Bolton, and I put my hand out to him. I'm trying to see if he'll give me a name or offer up a name.
He shakes your hand and says, "Okay, I'll tell if she comes by. I'll tell her John Bolton was looking for her."
Okay. And I walk away thinking, why didn't I get a name off the fucking paperwork?
You're all right. I've gone back to the car.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Left you
not very good
talking.
at this cloak and dagger shit.
It's fine. Let's head to the diner.
The diner.
Or do you think we should go to the sheriff first?
From
No,
when you drove down, they are literally opposite sides of the street to each other. You've got
Oh,
basically a
okay,
crossroads in the middle, and
Mm,
on it is the diner, the sheriff's office, and sort of two stores, a convenience store and a sort of selling, well, a supermarket, small supermarket, selling everything you could need for
yeah.
food, and then an outfitters selling probably two price ranges, one for the tourists, one for the locals.
yeah. Huh?
And if we're lucky, see, this is America, the sheriff's going to be in the diner anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
Having his lunch.
it's probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon by now.
Oh, get late for lunch.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Early supper? No, it's a bit too early for that.
Where do you want to go?
I'm thinking diner.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
that.
we haven't eaten yet ourselves, have we? So
Yeah, let's go eat, and then get a feel for the locals, and hopefully they don't keep
Bear in
staring.
mind, you might need somewhere to stay, and there's that motel called the Lodge.
Is the motel in that square of
No,
things?
it's a bit it's
little
on
bit
the edge
further
of
up.
town.
All right. Yep, diner it is.
Okay. So you park up outside Peggy Sue's and head in, and you are the only customers in here.
Of course.
It's there is one waitress, but maybe she's actually Peggy Sue herself who runs it. Youngish red-headed woman, and then there is you can see sort of through to the kitchen, and there's a door out at the back, and you can see the back of what must be the chef out sort of having a cigarette break out the back door.
Classic.
But as you walk in, this red woman looks up from where she was staring at her phone, and says, puts on and good afternoon. Can I help you at all?
Yeah, of course.
Where would you like to
This was
sit?
the best place. Wherever. Maybe near a window.
So table by the window, not the counter, because it's a proper classic diner. So you've got
Oh, okay.
tables,
It's one of
and
the
then you've got almost like a counter where you'd sit
like a
side by
bar type
side
thing. Yeah.
next to the bar. Table by the window, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. If you get a choice, one facing the street, so do you say that the sheriff's office is opposite?
Yeah.
Just so I
Yeah,
got a
that's
view of
kind
the
of where I was
sheriff's office.
thinking.
Absolutely, yeah. You
Yeah.
can definitely get one. You can see the sheriff's office. Absolutely.
This was the best place for gumbo.
That's what the sign
Highly
says.
recommended.
2 gumbos then.
Yeah.
And how about a glass of homemade lemonade to go with it as well?
Sounds delicious.
That's a ticket.
Just take a seat and I'll go and sort that for you. And fairly quickly the chef is back in cooking, and she brings across your drinks. What are you folks doing in town then?
actually, I'm here to see a colleague and same person.
Have
who
you changed to
was
put the uniform
moved.
on?
Yeah, I was saying.
I wanted to do that before we got there, but we kind of
Yeah.
fast
No,
forwarded.
that's
But if
fine.
we can,
Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
I sort of moved through. Yeah, okay. So you've
yeah,
quickly
no,
changed.
I did.
Yeah. Um,
If so, that maybe we went back to the motel to secure our room, and
Yeah,
then
that makes sense.
so you've okay.
came.
So let's make it. Let's say it's now 4 o'clock. You've been to the motel. You've checked in the motel. They've got adjacent rooms. The motel is got only a couple of. It's pretty empty. This
Yeah,
place is not particularly visited.
touristy. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
only
yeah.
about a dozen rooms in the motel, and only 2 of them are occupied besides the 2 you stay. So you've got adjacent rooms. Okay, you managed to sort that out, and you've
Awesome.
got changed. Okay, and then so it's now 4 o'clock, and you're having very late lunch, early dinner,
Yeah.
and uh, she said when you say that about looking for a girl, she says, "Do you mean Dr. Deborah?"
Oh, I didn't know that she was so close to you. She recommended this place quite highly. Thought we'd stop in here, but
Your
have
your
you seen her recently?
is it just me or has your connection gone bad?
It's
For me,
bad.
both of you actually.
In that case,
Yeah,
is it me? Hang on a sec.
and then it's the
It's
bad.
all next headroom.
Yeah, you're both doing max headroom to me.
Oh, look, are we back?
Oh no, it's back.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
back now.
that's back.
Yeah,
Sorry,
all right. Yeah.
sorry, B. Say that again. Apologies.
Sorry.
No, no, no.
What did I say? I said yes. She I didn't realize that you knew her by name. She thoroughly recommended this last time we spoke. Um, but I haven't heard from her in a while, and I'd reached out to our old professor. Well, not my professor, obviously, but her professor, and he mentioned that, and I indicate Moriarty that she hadn't been heard from. Um, I was due to come down here to see, frankly, where she's got to. She hasn't handed in any of her research for a couple of days, and we're a little concerned. Have you
Yeah,
seen her?
yeah. I'm worried as well. She normally eats in here, and I know she'd be very busy in doing takeouts, but recently, but she normally eats um, certainly evening dinner here. Um, and I've not seen her for 3 days, and that's odd.
Yeah.
Her truck's parked down by um, the dock, so and her swamp boat, a flyboat. So they're called flyboats. Her flyboat. So there's the ones with the, you know what I mean, the ones with the massive, great
Yeah, big
prop,
fan on the back.
big
Yeah.
fan on the back. Yeah,
Fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Her flyboat's missing there, so she's not been round. Um, yeah, I've not seen her for a few days. So I'm worried as well. I'm even more worried now
That
that
is
you are, the colleagues of hers are worried. Um, yeah. What was your persuade skill?
mine's 20,
I
but
think to be honest, no, I think she's.
mm,
I think with the combination of the what you've explained and the fact you're wearing a uniform and stuff, she's just buying it.
yeah, nice.
Okay. Yeah.
But she wouldn't normally go off for more than a day at a time on a
No. No.
flyboat.
No. Because she. I mean.
No better stay up there, is there?
Mm.
No. She's no mistake. No. No. Well, not that I know of. No. She. Because she's tracking pregnant alligators. So.
Mm. That is concerning. They can be quite hostile, especially. Does the
She
sheriff?
sort of. She almost does. I mean, this is almost comical. She does. You're the only people in this diner, but she still does a conspiratorial look round just to check that no one
Yeah.
can hear, and the only
Yeah,
person
yeah.
is the chef cooking you some gumbo. And she says she did tell me she met some very strange people, and yeah, they yeah, the Cormiers and the Bergerons, two sort of families, two sort of extended family groups who sort of live out. When you get comedians or Hollywood films making jokes about what people from Louisiana are like, these people
They
sort of
kind
fit
of are.
that stereotype. From what she said,
Mm, mm.
I mean, I've never met them, but she told me there were two families, the Cormiers and the Bergerons. Let me just, do you want me to stick those names in the chat?
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I thought you said Corsairs at first, and I was like, unusual.
C-O-R-M-I-E.
I imagine they're probably unusual spelling. Oh, no, not that far off.
Hello, my boy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
They're
yeah. There you go.
yeah.
I'm down with Louisiana's.
so there's
Got the
two.
vibe.
She's sort of big extended families, and she said she got on with them quite well to start with, and then something she did upset them, and they.
How long ago was that? Do you remember? She'd mentioned something. She didn't mention their names, but she mentioned something about meeting some people out in the bayou. But we haven't heard much about them. Anything you know would be very useful.
She said they were well. She tends to. How much do you folks know about the wildlife park around here? Because essentially, um, the I don't want to put you off. Well, yeah, you're not tourists. You've said you're not tourists, but the
Hmm.
tourists tend. We tend to struggle a bit because the tourists tend to go north of the main road, of the main highway, and so we always. It's a bit more wild down here. It's less picturesque, and she was sort of going around the south around here and so on, and yeah, she said they were strange, and she definitely upset them somehow.
Hmm. Um, does do you know if the sheriff is aware that she's not been communicating with people or not being seen? I don't
I
want to use the term missing just yet, but we are concerned.
um I've said to him that he needs to figure out where she is because it's unusual, and he said to me that not enough time gone by, but she you can see anger, though
Yeah,
though she's being civil to you, you can see anger in her eyes and slightly in her tone as well. Anger at the sheriff, not at you. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've said to him, but he's not done anything.
Sort of shoot a look at Moriarty of good idea to come here first.
Yeah.
Um, Once again, she sort of glances around conspiratorially and then said, "Sheriff Rose, he's a good old boy, but he's always inclined to leave it long enough for it to be certain that he needs to do some work."
Okay, I think I understand.
He's happy for things to resolve themselves rather than
Yeah,
resolve it for them.
yeah.
Um, do you know if he ever goes out into the bayou?
Uh, yeah, he does sometimes. He's got a boat, so he must do at points. But yeah,
maybe we should pay him a visit. After our gumbo, of course. Sorry, very rude of me. My name's Gillian Hale. Out my hand.
Sorry, I know where that surname's come from. Ian doesn't. That's for a different
Yes,
a different
old lady.
a different old lady in a different
In another deed.
another Delta
Green
Green game. Yes. Possibly the scariest character they've met so far, and she was merely a little old lady. She really was just a little old lady.
And I'm going to go with John Bolton. So I might sort of carry on with the line.
Which is sorry.
Yeah.
I'm Peggy Sue. I'm Peggy Sue Bonneville. Bonnevie. Peggy Sue Bonnevie.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Peggy Sue. Sounds like I was about to start a song then. Let's go, Peggy Sue.
And you're at that time, I think you're brought some gumbo.
Moriarty goes straight to anaphylaxis because it's got shrimp in it.
I was about to say you're allergic to shrimp. Oh, that would be so funny if you were.
No,
definitely do it. Definitely do it.
Are you?
Happy bed. Good gumbo.
So I think
if you suffer for it, you're never going to eat gumbo. So.
No, okay. So right, okay. Anyway, so you have some lovely gumbo, and then if you're unless you're rushing off, she'll try and persuade you to have. She's got some freshly baked apple pie.
Oh damn! Yes.
Yeah.
Stay for the pie every time.
Yeah.
And
I mutter when I'm sort of like looking at my credit card, like or money that I've got. I'm like, my husband's gonna kill me. It's just like.
Well, as part of the full side D you've got set up.
Okay. There's a stipend.
But those names on that credit or those cards will not agree with the names you've given. So you could have got out a wad of cash to
pay
for things.
Who has a card reader in the Bayou? That sounds really offensive. Sorry, Americans.
Yes.
I don't know how collected you are.
Yeah.
They barter out there, don't they?
Yeah. I bring in 2 sheep.
Yes, please do not insult anyone who might be watching this.
Watched in Louisiana. There you go.
We got down votes. How did that happen?
Yeah. The food is lovely. I mean, the food is seriously good. It is, and actually, sorry. By the time you've finished, there are starting to be people starting to drift in.
Yeah, for dinner.
But it's clearly all some locals, and quite possibly some of the better off locals. Okay. As you're finishing up your apple pie, Peggy Sue comes across and says, "If you want to talk to the sheriff today, I'd go now, because he'll be off home soon."
Excellent. Thank you very much for your advice. And if you have any question, Andy, would we have given these false ID names that we're using now to the hotel? Like, could we have done that, or is this?
Yeah.
To the motel.
To the motel. Yeah.
Bear
in mind, you've got burner phones.
Okay.
You can actually give her a number if you wish.
In fairness, can I just retcall, because if I was working under an alias, I would have used the alias. I would have come up with a name.
Oh, so John Bolton. John Bolton is the name of the alias you're.
It's my alias. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. It's sorry. I just only because I thought, oh shit, I've got to come up with a name, but I was forgetting the fact that
already had one, wouldn't we?
I'm already working under an alias, so I would have used.
Oh, that's not good.
Frozen
again.
Yeah,
sorry.
frozen.
Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
Sorry. So do you you're John Bolton is the name of your alias, and you also that means you've got all a credit card set up with it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you said the first name was, but the surname was Hale. Is that
Gillian
Hale?
Hale. That'll be the one that I've got set up as my.
So you're using you're using your real your actual false ID. You're just adding the fact that a job. So you're both adding jobs to them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Right. And you've also got mobile burner phones as well if needed. Right. So you telling Peggy Sue to get in contact at the motel if they need to get you.
Yeah, if she hears anything else or sees,
You're staying at the lodge.
does.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
I'd give her the phone number.
Okay. You wander across to the sheriff's office, and it is there's a small counter, and behind it there's a desk and chair, and the sheriff is sat in at his desk, feet up on his sat in his chest, feet up on his desk.
Can we have spoken before we gone into
Sorry.
there?
Yeah. Certainly.
That's all right. Just to go. I think with someone like the sheriff, I imagine that the clothing's not going to go too far. Maybe you should do the talking in there. I'll back
Oh,
up anything you say. Do we want to come up with a?
in fairness, if you go in there in that uniform,
Yes.
and he does any sort, if he's suspicious, it does any sort of background check.
Of course. Yeah.
It's
So it doesn't matter.
gonna.
Nothing's going to hold up to that kind of.
Yeah,
suppose.
we need to either lose uniform. I'll go in and talk to him if you want, but if you want to go in, I think the uniform's probably it's going to work against us.
Right. In that case, I can. I'll go to the outfitters. Do you need any particular supplies? Boots.
I looked down at the
and
stuff.
I looked down at the boots.
So what? What do you mean? They're waterproof. They're fine. And he's, you know,
are they city waterproof or are they waterproof?
And he shuffles his feet a little bit uncomfortably because he really should have worn them in before he actually wore them out here.
What size shoes do you?
I'm 11. Short,
Excellent.
fat, big feet.
She just leaves.
Right. Okay. So you go across the outfitters. You can buy whatever's needed there.
Yeah.
Don't get to, we'll gloss over that. Right. Just to be clear, the outfitters, even if you ask, they don't actually know Dr. Deborah Carnegie at all, because they she came with her own gear. She didn't need to go and buy anything.
I would have thought so. Yeah.
Right. In the local sheriff, so he's sat behind his desk, feet up on his desk. There's a gun rack on there with 6 different firearms on it. It's more guns than he needs in any one day.
That's a stereotype.
He's middle-aged, balding, short, squat. You are twins. He sort of looks you up and down and says, "Hi there, how can I help you?" And gets up and sort of comes up from behind his desk to the counter. So you're either side of the counter. How can I help you?
Hi, Sheriff. I've come down today with a colleague. We were looking for Dr. Deborah Carnegie. She's a colleague of ours. We were led to believe that she's living around here. She's doing work for us, but she hasn't turned in the data we were expecting, and we can't seem to get hold of her. I'm just wondering whether you knew anything about her whereabouts.
What's your persuade skill?
40, isn't it?
40. Yeah, 40.
He sort of looks you up and down. Yeah, I've starting to have some worries about her. I think she's not been seen from the investigations I've done so far. She's not been seen for 3 days. Give me a humint. Actually, what is your humint score?
30.
Give me a humint at plus 20. Right. He's not done any investigations. He's bullshitting.
Yeah.
She's not been seen for several days, and her truck's parked down. It's been parked down in the same place for 3 days, next to where she normally moors her boat. So we've got some concerns. I've started making some inquiries, but not had any luck.
Yeah, I mean, not treading over his toes. How long does someone have to be missing around these parts before they're missing?
What's your alertness skill?
44.
Right. Out the corner of your eye, you catch sight of a notice board. On the notice board are a number of missing person
Jesus Christ.
posters. And to be honest, your attention's a bit drawn by this because you realise that the vast majority of them are young women.
Oh, God.
Similar sort of probably early 20s to mid 30s. So Dr. Carnegie's smack in the middle of that. He says, well, and he says, he sort of catches you looking across. There's a you know what women are like. They get
Bro, he's lucky I'm not there.
some of them.
They
Well,
just go wandering off.
Dr. Carnegie's a bit of a different one. Deborah's a bit of a different one because she's not local. I think there's a lot of local girls have just upped and gone off, and it might be a surprise for families, but there ain't a lot of good jobs around here. So, what are their prospects? And going off to Lafayette or Baton Rouge or even further across New Orleans or something like that. Well, I mean, that might well be attractive to them, and we get as many men go as well, but the families never seem to worry about the men.
Yeah. Look at the board.
Yeah,
No one gives a shit.
there are some men in there. There are some, but nothing like as many. There are a few older women, but nothing. I mean, there definitely is a very significant cluster of younger women. But he says, but Dr. Carneggie, she's different because she's got a good job. So,
Well, I'd suggest she's different because she works for a US department, and if they come looking, they might want to know what the local law enforcement's done till now.
Hey, we've started some investigations.
Yeah. We're 3 days in already.
So, do you know whereabouts she was working? Because we're going to have to go and search the swamp. And I mean, bluntly, if she's been got by a gator, then what we're really looking for is to try and find her boat. And if we find a boat and she ain't round it, well, what gators do, they drown their prey and then tend to try and lodge it in the roots of something underwater so that it decomposes a little before they start eating it. They like it to be
Easy to chew.
marinated.
Spongy. Ugh.
Okay, well, let's call it this. I'll find out where she's working. You start the wheels rolling and get this search organised.
Give me.
Intimidation isn't a check. I've checked.
I think it will be.
Persuade, wouldn't it?
Well, I'll actually give you a choice because of the way you were talking about it. Bureaucracy, persuade is an obvious one.
Thank you.
Bureaucracy, because you got a bit bureaucratic on him.
Yeah,
Don't think anything else will be
So it's
applicable.
I'll go bureaucracy though, because I'm better with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But not that good.
Oh, what a shame.
I will start. I don't need you telling me how to do my job.
Yeah, well, obviously someone needs to, but hey, we'll have to see what the US Fisheries and Wildlife think about your job so far. And I'm actually going to think. Well, I think I'm going to know I've blown it at this point. So I'm gonna walk away. But when I do, I'm going to stop in front of the notice board and get a clear idea of if there's is this a recent spate, or are some of these missing notes this person, for years ago or whatever.
What's
Just
what's your
Sorry,
search
Karen.
skill? Oh, we lost signal again.
Connection's bad today.
Connection's bad.
Yeah. Sorry, you asked for a skill. I didn't catch the skill.
Search. What is your search?
40.
40. You get a bonus to it, so it becomes oh, have you got it again? Right.
You back?
Yeah, back. Sorry, I think this is me. Bizarrely, I've got no kids here, so there's no fucking Xboxes competing for bandwidth.
Is it? So is Discord peer to peer then?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
because you would normally get that where everyone freezes when it's peer to peer. So it's the worst connection is what's driving it, but which could well be mine as much as anyone else's.
Yeah,
but hey.
I don't know. Right. Anyway,
Be any of us.
we let's take a break in a sec. So we'll disconnect and then have we reconnect it, it'll all be sorted. But just before we do, so it looks to be some of these missing person posters are quite old, and it seems to be a person every 6 to 9 months. Sorry, it seems to be a young woman in the same profile as Deborah every 6 to 9 months. The others seem to be scattered around it, and it seems to be going back 10 years at least.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's quite a lot of missing. I mean, there's probably 30 people on this board, and probably 20 of them fit the profile going back. No, sorry, about 15 fit the profile going back about 10 years.
It does feel like there's a trend. I'm seeing a trend, or am I believing I'm seeing a trend? See what I'm saying?
There definitely seems to be a pattern because it's always about 6 to 9 months between each missing person. Yeah. Each missing young woman. Sorry, to be very clear.
Yeah, sure.
If you're looking at it as a whole, there isn't a pattern. Once you start to just go the same profile as Deborah, there definitely is. Absolutely. Okay.
So just check. I'm not sure it makes any difference, but town sheriffs in America, elected officials.
Yes, I believe so. He'll be an elected official. Yeah.
Okay, so he's
Voters manager.
his poor performance may be reflected in future I'm just thinking of other threats we
Yeah.
maybe estimate
Are
if
you
we need to.
are you then leaving after you've studied this notice board for all?
Yeah, I'm walking out. I realise I've blown it, pushed him too hard, so I'm just gonna sort of walk out.
Okay. I think it's a good point to take our break there. So
Cool.
thanks everyone watching. We're going to pause the recording now, and then there'll be a second episode of this scenario to follow on. But I'll yeah, I'll stop recording now, and then we can catch up. Okay. So.